Have you ever heard just one sentence that made your heart stop? A few simple words that didn't just speak to your ears, but to your soul? Pope Francis has spoken countless times, to crowds of thousands, to leaders of nations, to the forgotten, to the broken. But there are 6 things he said that don't fade with applause, that don't age with the news cycle. They whisper in quiet moments. They linger after the lights go down. They challenge you, right here, right now. Because sometimes it only takes a few words from the right voice at the right moment to open a door inside you that you never knew existed. And when that door opens, you don't just hear a quote, you remember who you are. Let these words wash over you. Let them stir something sacred. Let them change you forever. God never tires of forgiving us. We are the ones who tire of seeking His mercy. Mercy, a word that feels soft, but holds the weight of the universe. How often do we hold back from healing because we believe we don't deserve it, because we think we've asked too many times, because shame speaks louder than grace? But Pope Francis reminds us, it is not God who closes the door. It is we who stop knocking. We fall, we break, we wander off, but mercy walks behind us, patient, ready. Every scar you carry, it's not proof of failure. It's proof you tried. It's proof you were human. And mercy? Mercy sees that humanity and whispers, come home. If you've been running, if you've been hiding from forgiveness, maybe now's the time to stop, to rest, to be received. Because God doesn't run out of mercy, we just run out of hope. And maybe today you find it again. Do not settle for a mediocre life. Be amazed by what is true and beautiful. Mediocrity isn't just comfort, it's slow surrender. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that safety matters more than wonder, that stability is more important than soul. But what if we're wrong? What if staying small was never the plan? Pope Francis dares us to imagine more, a life where truth isn't hidden, where beauty isn't background noise, where your eyes see deeper than screens and your heart beats louder than fear. Be amazed, he says, amazed by sunrises you forgot to look at, by the kindness of strangers, by your own capacity to hope again. This isn't a call to luxury, it's a call to aliveness, to wake up, to step outside your mental box, to find the sacred in the ordinary. Because when you stop settling, you start soaring, and maybe that's where your real life begins. Embrace humanity with tenderness, especially the poor and forgotten. Tenderness, not a word we hear much these days. In a world built on power, speed, status, tenderness feels like weakness. But Pope Francis turns that upside down. He reminds us, strength isn't how loudly you speak, it's how deeply you listen. When was the last time you sat beside someone who had nothing to give you in return? Who had no title, no fame, no voice? The forgotten are not forgotten by God, and they should not be forgotten by us. Love is not noise, it is presence, it is bread broken quietly at a bench, it is a smile shared between strangers, it is choosing to see what others walk past. Tenderness isn't weakness, it is courage without armor, compassion without cameras. To embrace humanity, you don't need wealth, you need open eyes and an open heart. That's how we begin to heal the world, one gentle moment at a time. Holiness doesn't mean doing extraordinary things. It means doing ordinary things with love. We often think greatness requires spotlight, applause, achievements that echo. But what if the sacred was found in the unseen? What if the divine was hidden in the daily? Pope Francis reminds us, you don't need a stage to matter. You don't need miracles to be meaningful. You just need presence and love. The way you fold the laundry, the way you care for someone who's tired, the way you whisper encouragement when no one else hears it. Holiness isn't loud, it doesn't boast. It's quiet acts of dignity. It's making tea with intention. It's writing one kind message. It's showing up again and again. So if you ever feel small, remember, your ordinary is already extraordinary when love is in it. And maybe that's what holiness really looks like. If money and material things become the center of our lives, they take over and enslave us. We live in a world where having more is confused with being more. We chase new gadgets, new clothes, new titles, but somewhere along the way, we lose ourselves. Pope Francis doesn't condemn things. He warns us about thrones, about what we let rule our hearts. Because when money becomes master, freedom fades, joy shrinks, and peace turns into performance. You can have everything and still feel empty. You can fill your life with stuff and still feel a hole inside. But when love becomes the center, when kindness guides your steps, then even the smallest act feels rich with meaning. So ask yourself, what owns your attention? What owns your time? What owns you? And if it's not lifting your soul, maybe it was never worth carrying. True freedom isn't found in what you keep, it's found in what you're willing to let go. Never stop dreaming. Dreams open the door to a better tomorrow. Dreams, they begin as whispers, soft, fragile, easy to ignore. But inside every real dream is the seed of something sacred, something eternal. Pope Francis invites us to dream beyond limitation, to see not just what is, but what could be. The world may tell you, be realistic, don't hope too much, play it safe. But he reminds us, faith itself is a dream, a vision of light before the sun has risen. So dream, even if your voice shakes, even if no one claps, even if no one sees, because your dream could be the spark that lights someone else's way. We plant seeds we may never sit beneath, but one day, someone will find shade under the tree we dared to imagine. And when that day comes, it will have all started with a dream you didn't give up on. You just heard 6 sentences, simple words, but maybe something in you shifted. Maybe it was mercy, maybe it was tenderness, maybe it was the courage to dream again. The world is noisy, fast, demanding, but truth speaks softly and stays. If one quote touched you, don't let it disappear. Hold on to it, return to it, let it become something more than just a moment. Share it with someone who needs light, with someone who forgot they were worthy. Because inspiration only grows when it's given away. And maybe, just maybe, the world doesn't change because of speeches or systems, but because of one person who chose to live these words. If that person could be you, then this was more than a video, it was a beginning.